Hello my friends and welcome. This is the latest update from Ukraine. Let's go to Robotine village because there are some of the changes. From the information I have, the Ukrainian army already entered the central part of this very important village. Why is this village so important? Because there are many of the Russian defense lines and unfortunately Ukraine needs to penetrate them to reach their main goal, to reach the Azov Sea. Let's check out the timeline for today. It was yesterday and today Ukrainian army propelled towards the Russian defense lines, and from my information, as I told you, we were able to penetrate those and enter the central part of Robotine. The other map may show us that scenario. You may see two of the main attack vectors of Ukrainian army, one directly to Robotine and one is over here. The village itself is mostly located in the fighting zone, the gray area. So it is early to say that Robotine is liberated, but I am sure it will be, I think, this week. And as you can see, here goes the Russian defense line that was already penetrated by Ukrainian army. They have many in that area, but generally speaking, Ukraine is kind of successful in this direction. Also today, near to Robotine, Ukrainian army was able to shut down the Russian attack helicopter K-52. Actually, Russia lost two of those helicopters today, one near to Robotine, the other one near to Bakhmut. As I say to you, they lose at least one helicopter of that type per week. Now totally they have around 50 of the helicopters of that type in the Russian army. Before the war they had around 90 with something. We even have the video of the helicopter shutdown. I published it on my Telegram channel. Actually, you don't see a lot, just the smoke cloud over there and the happy Ukrainian soldiers. From what I understood, Ukraine used the RBS-70 manpads with the laser-guided rockets. So pretty much there is no any kind of the solution in the Russian helicopter design to withstand or to secure those helicopters from the laser-guided missiles. The crew may have the warning that the missile is approaching and eject. The anti-missile flashes doesn't help in this situation. Alright, from Robotine let's go to Urozhaine and Staromayorsky. Ukrainian army advances over there, expanding the bridge hold. To check it out, let's go to the timeline yesterday and today. Ukraine took all of those fields and continue to push the Russian army southbound. Still, the Ukrainian army is not crossing this river. It is the natural obstacle and we need more resources to cross it, plus the special engineering equipment. So first of all, the artillery will be used to demolish the Russian army over here to make the crossing more or less secured and safe for our soldiers, and later on our army will go into Davydov. Again, the Ukrainian army should take also about their side objectives because there are also the Russian forces. If Ukrainian army moves all forward, taking Staromlinivka and Davydov, Russia may use this situation attacking the Ukrainian army from both of the flanks. That is why our forces start to expand this bridgehold as I showed to you. As for the Bakhmut region, we have just a tiny little movement yesterday and today, but at least there is the movement. But honestly, my friends, I have the information that is confirmed by many of the videos that the Ukrainian army controls Klishivka, and Russians were trying to attack this village, taking it back under control using many of the T-90 tanks, but they were demolished. It happened around 3 days ago and we saw how Russia targeted the Ukrainian positions in this village. So for me it is strange why Klishivka is shown in a red color. Maybe Ukraine controls the part of the village. The Russian and Ukrainian vehicle losses for the last couple of days according to the Oryx resource. Totally, Russia lost 27 of the units, Ukraine lost 9. As for significant losses, Russia lost Panzer S-1 air defense system. It is kind of unique one, versatile, but Russia placed them also very close to the front lines because it's not the long-range air defense system. We may spot it and target it with the help of the HIMARS. Plus, Russia lost two of the S-300 long-range air defense systems. So before they destroyed two of the launchers of the same system from the Ukrainian side, and this time Ukraine paid back, destroying two of the Russian launchers. And also many of the Russian raiders were destroyed. From what I see, almost in every report Russia loses lots of their artillery systems. It means that the Ukrainian army uses the special counter-artillery systems, special radars that may detect the position of the Russian artillery, and our artillery is way more precise than the Russian one because it's the Western made. As for Ukraine, we mostly have losses in our tanks, infantry vehicles, and mainly that's it. But Russia has much greater numbers in those vehicles also. Judging on this information that is coming from the Oryx resource, yes, we may admit that Ukrainian army has severe losses, but those are much less compared to the Russian side, which is for me a miracle because our army is on offense right now and attacking side usually loses much more compared to the defending side. So in this particular case, Ukraine should have lost around 60 of the units, but we lost just 9. More positive articles are coming from the mainstream media. The Ukrainians' counteroffensive operation is making progress slowly. Before, the same media resources say that the counteroffensive of Ukraine failed. Speaking about the parallels, the similar articles you may find about the Allied operation in Normandy in 1944, then Allies landed to fight against the Nazi Germany, so Allied pace slows. Delay in Normandy. The bad weather is the factor, the Allies slowly better, terrain slows tanks. So it was also the very difficult operation because Germans prepared the defense lines. But then the German defense lines were left behind. Allies increased the pace massively. That is what we should expect from Ukraine, I think, in those 2 points, over here and over here. Alright, breaking news from Reuters. United States approves sending F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine. Before, only the pilot training was approved. But now USA agreed the supplyment of F-16s from Denmark and Netherlands. They relate to the statement of the United States officials. As soon as the pilot training is done, we're gonna receive those airplanes. We have more updates from the drone cameras. Well, this is the Russian command center somewhere on the south, I believe not far away from Robotine. As you can see, it's the non-standard picture because most of the households are intact. It means that it's quite far away from the front lines. And here you can see the Russian supply vehicles, UAZ, we call them Bukhanka. I guess they also use this car for supplies, and this is their command center. Ukraine was monitoring the situation around its house and spotted some of the Russian soldiers. Later on, the Ukrainian artillery just kaboomed this Russian command center. As you can see, Ukraine uses the very precise artillery systems. No other buildings around were hit. Well, maybe just with the shrapnel and debris, but we have to do it. Russia also continued to lose their short-range anti-aircraft systems, for example as this Strela-10. It was left just on a field road and it was a very easy target to spot by the Ukrainian drone. Later on, Ukraine used the cluster munitions to target that vehicle and it was smoking. Many of the Russian military commanders start to complain about the cluster munition that Ukraine uses on the front lines. They compared the effectiveness of the American-produced cluster shells with the Russian ones. Russia uses the cluster munitions since the beginning of this war, but those shells are not very effective compared to the American-made. And some of the Russian commanders admit that. They say that after the United States start to supply the cluster munition to Ukraine, the Ukrainian army starts to propel much faster on the front lines. They also start to complain about the huge losses in the Russian infantry. For now, the losses is around 1 to 7, 1 to 8, not in favor of Russia. The Azov brigade has been deployed in Zaporizhia direction, and we even have the videos of their job. For example, they ambushed the Russian infantry vehicle over there. Nice job from Azov. All of the Azov commanders who returned from Turkey are already fighting on the front lines. Good news from Germany, they sent more launchers of the RST systems. For now, 2 more. Plus, the United Kingdom will supply lots of the air defense systems. However, we are out of the information of what kind of the air defense systems Ukraine will get from UK, but we know the price. More than $100 million will be spent for that program. About the drone boats, well, according to some information that I have, we should expect something interesting to happen this night. My friends, please don't forget to press the like to this video, and also if you want to support my job, you might check out the links in the video description just below. Special thanks for my Patreon supporters and the sponsors of my YouTube channel. You are awesome, you are great. I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.